Good evening, everyone. This is Phenomenal Leadership, and I'm your friend, Bishop-elect Edlin Scott. Really excited about the opportunity to come and share with you tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Phenomenal Leadership. This is our Tuesday evening episode, and I'm really excited about the chance that we often have every week to come into your homes with the broadcast. Certainly, God is a good God. He is great and He is greatly to be praised. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that's within me. Bless God's holy and wonderful name. So I want you to like and share, as you join me. Like and share the broadcast. Got an absolutely beautiful broadcast for you tonight. We're talking about staying in the best place for your breakthrough. So it's all about position. It's all about the position that you're in. What you want is one thing. The location you are to what you want is very important to getting what it is that you're trying to get. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight on this broadcast. So I want you to reach out to your friends, let them know, hey, do you know someone that is in need of a breakthrough, someone that needs a miracle from the Lord, someone that needs a shifting that only God can do? This is their program tonight. This is their program tonight. Again, I'm your friend, Bishop-elect Edlin Scott, and this is Phenomenal Leadership. This is Phenomenal Leadership. Phenomenal Leadership is designed by God to build global leaders. Hey, we're not just about our house. We're not just about our neighborhood. We're not just about our county or our island or our country. It's a global thing. And so got an absolutely beautiful broadcast for you. We're on two platforms. We're on YouTube. I got a page called Edlin Scott YouTube page. And then, of course, I'm on the Voice of Deliverance Facebook page, the Voice of Deliverance organization, and then my own personal Facebook page. All right, let's jump right into it tonight. So, the average person is really in need of a breakthrough. The average person you know, and I know, well, forget, but you know and I know, I'm in need of a breakthrough. I'm in need of a breakthrough. And I'm sure there are a couple of more of you out there that are watching that are in need of a breakthrough. So, in order to get this breakthrough, there is a specific place. Remember the story about when God said to Elijah, I have prepared ravens at the brook? So the blessing was at the brook. And if he had gone any other place, it would not have been there. It came to a place where the brook dried up. And after that, he said, I have prepared a widow woman to sustain you. And so he could have gone to a married woman or another family and nothing would have happened because that's not where God had the blessing. And so it is important. It is important to be where the blessing is. That's very important. You can have a bank card. You can have a bank card. Good evening to all of you that are joining. Good to have you all joining, watching us tonight on this broadcast. You can have a bank card. And you can have millions of dollars on the bank card. But if the bank is closed and you don't have access to an ATM machine, you really don't have, you're not going to be able to use it. Now, of course, you can go online, but if you can't get online, well, what I'm simply saying is there is a place. There is a place to be. And so I want to throw maybe 4 things at you if tonight allows it. I want to throw maybe 4 things at you that you can understand about putting yourself in the right place. See, the devil realizes, and I really feel God tonight, the devil realized that he cannot stop anything that God has scheduled for your life. And I feel really prophetic tonight. There is something that is scheduled. In other words, when your name came up, a whole lot of other things came up at the same time. that actually belongs to you. And so you are on one end and your blessing is on the other end. So what is important now is manifestation. It's time for it to come together. It's time for it to come together. So it's a season of manifestation. And so staying in the best place for your breakthrough is very important. When I used to play baseball, if the ball is coming at you, they say to get in front of the ball. In other words, if the ball is coming at you, you don't want to stand to the side of it. And I guess it's because if you didn't catch it in your mitt, it'll hit your body, so it'll really drop right in front of you. And so positioning yourself in the right place to get this is very important. So what the devil does is the devil tries his very best to cause you to leave the position of the blessing. You ever notice this? How that the persons that are blessings in your life, the person that are there to pray you through, to counsel you, that are there for you. The first thing the devil does is try to split that up. When the devil is able to split that up, the devil then is able to go after you because in a lot of cases, we are not able to see. You got 2 eyes in the front, but you know how much more you can see with 4 eyes. And so the devil takes that extra pair of eyes out of your life in order to kind of mess you up. What's it? You got 10, I've got 10 fingers. Do you know how much more I can accomplish with 20 fingers? So the other person in your life is there to help you accomplish more. And so what the devil does is the devil tries to separate you from them, try to push you all apart. But stay in the best place for your breakthrough is what we're talking about tonight. Good evening, everyone. I should join in on the broadcast. You know someone that needs a miracle. Hey, this is their broadcast tonight. I call them up, reach out to them, let them know to get there. Now, number one, the first thing that you do not do, if you're seeking a breakthrough, if you're seeking a miracle from the Lord, if you're holding faith for something, number one, don't worry. Remember a couple of years ago, they had something that said, don't worry, be happy. But if you are believing God for a breakthrough, the place not to be in is in the place of worry. All right? The place of worry is not the place to be. All right? Here's what you don't do. Here's what you don't do. You do not take on an attitude of denial. Take on, like, oh, this ain't really happening. This ain't nothing going on. No. Wrong thing. Wrong. Sometimes people figure, I deny because this ain't really nothing to pay. No, wrong place. The next thing you try not to do is avoid it. Try to duck it. I don't have to face my fear. You cannot change what you are not prepared to face. You can't change it if you're not prepared to face it. Goliath comes out every day and says, send me a man to fight with me. Every day that they avoided Goliath, all they did was create a next day for Goliath to come back. So he put fear on them on Monday, put fear on them on Tuesday. The entire week he put fear on them because nobody was prepared to face it. If you want your breakthrough, you got to be able to face. You got to be able to face your fear. So avoidance is not the way to go. I'll just avoid every situation that makes me fearful. Nope. Wrong attitude. The next thing is repression. What you see, one of the things I do not want to sell the idea across to you that you don't have a real problem. You don't have a serious problem. You don't have a big deal. You do have a big deal. You do have a serious problem. It is real what you're dealing with. Now, a lot of times repression, we feel like repressing it may make it go away or do something. I'll suppress my true emotions because they do not make sense anyway. So I just push it down and try to hide it or pretend to be happy and all that kind of stuff. No. You're still worrying about it. The next thing that you don't want to get involved in is to be obsessed with it. To be obsessed with it. Maybe if I keep thinking about it, the problem will magically solve itself. I don't care how you stand up. You just stand up and you do nothing. That don't mean things are going to happen. You know, I always used to think that the more you cry, the more God will just do it for you because you're crying. No. You know what moves God? Faith. Nothing else moves God but faith. Now, tears has a little weight, shows the heaviness and all that kind of stuff. But the number one thing that moves God is your faith, not your tears, not your sad look. It's your faith that moves God. All right, so don't worry. Don't worry. If you want to stay in the place to get your breakthrough, you can't be in the place of worry. The next place that you got to stay in is your place of prayer. Prayer is absolutely necessary and important. When Hannah wanted something from the Lord, she prayed. When Israel wanted deliverance from bondage, they prayed. Prayer is the key. Prayer is the vehicle that will get every single thing that you want in your life. Prayer is the vehicle. Prayer is the ride you want to ride with. You don't want to ride with nothing else except prayer. If prayer stops to give you a ride, that's the car to get in. Don't get in the car that ain't praying. Don't hang with the folk that ain't praying. Don't be with the people that don't believe prayer works. Hang with the people that believe prayer works. Watch this. The book of Proverbs, chapter number 3, verse number 4 says, "So shall thou find favor and understanding. So shall thou find favor and understanding. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not to thine own understanding. Acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path." Right? In the place that you want to be in, number one is prayer. Number two, you want to be in a place where you trust God for everything. You trust God for everything. In other words, whatever move you're about to make, you put it to God first. When you acknowledge him in all your ways, then he shall direct your path. Now, in order to acknowledge him in all your ways, you got to find a way to continue to pray. All right? You got to continue to pray. Prayer is conversation. Prayer simply is conversation. Lord, do I do this? Lord, do I do that? Lord, do I do the other thing? The Bible says the steps of a good man, they are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in those steps. In other words, the steps of a good man are prearranged by the Lord. Can I tell you this? Tomorrow is already prearranged. It's kind of like this. Your tomorrow looks like this. If you put your foot in flour, and everywhere you walk, you'll see those white footsteps everywhere you go. The Lord has already put those white steps everywhere for you to go. You'll not go wrong if you walk in every one of those white steps that the Lord has placed there for you. So, you got to pray about every single thing. The place to be for your deliverance, your breakthrough is the place where you see God. See, if you can't see God, you can't pray. And the reality is, if you can't see him in your situation, it don't make sense to even pray to him. Because as much as faith moves God, doubt is a sin. If you pray and you don't believe God could do it, you just sinning. So shall thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. You want to see your whole life, your whole environment change right up? God will do this. If you pray, you put things God first, then in the sight of God, and then God gives you that favor with man. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not to thine own understanding. See, our understanding is so shallow that a lot of things we'll not even see it happening. We can't see it happening. But when you rely on God, then some stuff that only 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, this can't feed 5,000, you won't see that. You'll see that working. But Lord, we've been out all night and we ain't catch nothing. Then you won't be able to see that. When you trust God, you said, at your word. Mary said to them, whatever he tells you, I don't know what he can tell you, but you only got no wine. Whatever he tells you to do, if you do that, you're going to be all right. All right? So, you got to pray always about everything. You got to pray about every single thing. That's the place to be for your breakthrough. Pray. First, don't be in a place of doubt. Second, always be in a place where you see God and consult God for everything. Then the next one is, thank God in all things. There's a difference between thanking God in all things and thanking God for all things. There's some things, there's some unforeseen things that will happen to you. I'm not lying to you. There's some things that will happen to you that you'll be like, where it come from? How it happened? What I do? That's just how it is. 1 Thessalonians 5:16 says, rejoice evermore. Rejoice evermore. No matter what happened, rejoice. Think about this. When we have babies, we have a celebration, right? When we have funerals, we have parties or repasts. So we are rejoicing for life and we are rejoicing for death, right? I mean, in a simple term, you may call it a different way. What God is saying, rejoice for life, rejoice for death, rejoice for disappointment, rejoice when things are good, rejoice. There's nothing will stop my praise. Verse number 17, pray without ceasing. Pray without stopping. Don't stop praying. Always pray. Verse number 18, 1 Thessalonians 5:18. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God. The will of God is in everything give thanks. This is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. The reason you are watching this today is because in all things you got to give thanks. If you want to be in the place of breakthrough, the place of breakthrough requires you to give thanks in all things. Give God thanks for all things. All right, my final thought. First one is don't worry. Don't be in a place of worry. The place to be in for your breakthrough is not a place of worrying. The place to be for your breakthrough is a place where you pray and you talk to God about everything. Third thing is you thank God for everything. Here's the final thing. Got 4 minutes to wrap up with. The final thing. Keep your mind on the right things. Keep your mind on the right things. In order to get the breakthrough, you got to keep your mind on the right thing. Philippians chapter number 4 and verse number 8 says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true. This way your head's supposed to be. Whatsoever things are true. Whatsoever things are honest. Whatsoever things are just. Whatsoever things are pure. Whatsoever things are lovely. whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Now, there are some things that are true, but there's no virtue in it. There are some things that it's absolutely true. Ain't no lie, ain't no joke. It's the truth. But there's no virtue in it. Whatsoever things are honest. But is there any virtue in it? You know, when we was growing up and our parents beat us, they used to say, this is going to be good for you. Now, that didn't feel like that was good for me, man. That didn't feel like it made no sense, getting beating from your parents. But they say, it's good for you. It's good for you. When they give you medicine to take, tastes so bad. But they say that's good for you. So, there are some things that are true. There are some things that are honest. There are some things that are just. There are things that are pure, lovely, and good report. But if there be any virtue, is there any praise in it? There are some things that are okay, but I mean, that don't do nothing for me. If there be any virtue, if there be any praise, all right, think on these things. Virtue, does it strengthen you? Does it strengthen you? All right. The reality is, I got an old truck out there. That's my truck. You come out there, you come and tell me your truck old. That's the truth, but that don't make me happy. Your truck need a paint job. That's the truth, but that don't make me happy. So, your mind now has to be in a place, in a certain place. You got to keep your mind on the right things. You know, I began to read this Philippians 4 and 8. Let me find it in my Bible. Philippians 4 and 8. You know, this just such a powerful, very powerful. Philippians 4 and 8, yes. Okay, I'm in Ephesians. All right. Ephesians, Philippians. All right, Philippians 4 and 8. Okay, watch this. Let's go to verse number 5 of Philippians. And I'm going to wrap it up with this. I want to show you where your mind got to be in the right place. You got to be thinking on the right things. You got to keep your mind there. You got to train your mind. Verse number 5, Philippians 4 and 5. Let your moderation be known to all men. The Lord is at hand. All right? Yeah, you're going through. Yeah, you're dealing with some stuff. But the world is looking at you. Yes, you're hurting, but the world is looking at you. So your discipline, your character, how you act, your answers, your whole mannerism got to be because the world is looking at you, right? Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. That's the kind of mindset you got to have. The kind of mindset you got to have is, I got to be careful. I'm hurting. I need a miracle. I need a breakthrough bad. But that's no reason for me to rob everybody else. That's no reason for me to carry on bad with everybody else. I need a breakthrough really bad. That's no reason for me to and just put on a bad attitude. Be careful for nothing. But in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be made known to God. And the peace of God, which passes all human understanding, shall keep your heart and minds through Jesus Christ. So, God is able to bring peace in the midst of that storm. The storm that you're going through, God alone is able to bring peace in the midst of that storm. All right? So, and then it goes on to finally, my brethren, and it shows you that. But I just wanted to show you those three voices that leads up to it. Let your moderation. Actually, verse number 4 of Philippians 4 says, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. So there is an attitude. There is an attitude. So, Pastor Scott, I need a breakthrough. I need a breakthrough. I just gave you 4 things that'll kind of help you to get this breakthrough or keep you in the right place to get your breakthrough. Number 1, don't worry. Stop worrying. Stop worrying. Worrying is not going to change it. All right? Number 2, the place to be in is you got to always talk to God about what's going on. Only God can understand. Only God can fix it. Only God can help you. So, talk to God. And then, rejoice. Whatever comes at you. Whatever comes at you. And then finally, keep your mind on the right things. God is going to give you that breakthrough. God is going to give you the miracle. God is going to come through. God is going to do it. I want to leave this with you. Verse number 7 of Philippians chapter number 4. And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, shall keep your heart and your mind through Jesus Christ. That's your word for tonight. Philippians chapter number 4, verse number 7. And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, shall keep your hearts and your mind through Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for listening tonight. We were talking about staying in the best place for your breakthrough. Staying in the best place for your breakthrough. How you act determines a whole lot, whether you're in place or you're out of place. If you're worrying, you're out of place. If you're not praying, you're out of place. If you're not praising, you're out of place. If your mind thinking all kind of foolishness, you're out of place. Simple as that. God bless you. Have an absolutely beautiful evening. This has been your friend, Bishop-elect Edlin Scott. Amen. You can watch me again on this coming Thursday at 9 p.m. We'll have another session of phenomenal leadership. Love you, love you, love you. May God's richest blessings be upon your lives tonight. God bless you and good night.